What if I told you that you could clone any website on the internet without writing a single line of code in under 60 seconds? Let me show you how with Same AI. My idea was to create a more organized and easy to use AI library using only AI tools. So, what I decided to do was turn to one of the tools I had for my AI library and put it to the test. The tool that I chose here was the website Same.new. Same.new is a Chinese developer AI website that can clone any website out there or create a new one for you. I was intrigued. What I did first was I took my idea of the AI website, gathered all the information I would need for the library, and then I started exploring some other web pages to see what type of interface I would like to build. Remember to consider all the users that will be using your website. I had to consider that I really wanted it to be an easy to use interface where as few clicks were used as possible. Once I had my idea, I headed over to Same.new and I signed up. Once you have a sign up, you can just log in and get started. As you can see, there are different prompts that you can use that it suggests to you, and there's also a library of other websites that were created below. You can clone any of those as well. For example, you can just go to this website that perhaps is something you want to replicate, copy the website, and advise the AI to clone, paste the website, and write what you would like to change. Once you input the prompt, you press enter and see the magic unfold. It tells you step by step what it is doing as it's doing it, and then it produces the first prototype. It gives you a little summary of everything that it's included. And then you can decide on if you want to take their advice and use some of the future enhancements they recommend, or if you want to add in some of your own personalized tweaks. I advised it to change the header, for example, and to change the names of the categories, for example. I also wanted it to match the color scheme from my personal portfolio page, which was bright purple, green, yellow, and blue, but make them more pastel shades for increased readability. It then gets to work implementing the changes that you've asked it to do and produces the next prototype. I can see the colors have changed, and I can also see that the names of the categories are personalized. Perfect. It gives some really great suggestions after each prototype in the potential future enhancements. You can choose which ones you want to use, but I really like their suggestions where they talk about creating a lighter dark mode or making a search option. These really enhance the user interface and are great ideas if you want to choose them. One thing that was really cool was I wanted to add my own websites to the URLs that were already provided. And I asked if I need to go ahead and give my own URLs. And it suggested that I don't necessarily need to provide the URLs for the websites, that it can help me add them in. If I just provided the names, it would look up the appropriate URLs for me. That was super helpful. I also said if there are no descriptions to add those in as well. Once you find the version or the prototype that you're happy with, you can go ahead and press deploy. It will then supply you with a Netlify link. To be honest, I wasn't even sure what Netlify was. So I went ahead to ChatGPT and had a little conversation with ChatGPT. I asked it, what is Netlify? It informed me it's something like GitHub where it hosts your website for you. My next question was, how do I get this site from Netlify onto my Weebly portfolio page? So I asked ChatGPT again how to do so. It told me I could just use an iframe and I could just copy and paste the link into the iframe. So I headed over to my Weebly page and I went to custom code and I copy and pasted the iframe in there and published, and voila, it appeared. Although it wasn't perfect, the embedded page looked a little bit wonky. It was too narrow, had a stubborn scroll bar on the side, and didn't fill the width as I'd hoped. It turns out Weebly's built in margins were getting in the way. Without some custom CSS, which again isn't my forte, I had to accept the limitations. The alternative was to simply paste the link to the Netlify version, but I really wanted everything to live in the page, so I kept it like that. Some things that I loved about using Same.new was it could clone any website out there and then tweak it or personalize it. So I didn't have to choose from any stubborn templates out there. And I could really get creative that way. I also liked that it was really easy to use and it gave smart suggestions along the way. It felt really collaborative. I love that it suggested usability boosts like search bars and a mobile layout. And there were, well, not unlimited iterations, but you could make quite a few with the free trial. Another great thing is it does have free tokens every month that refresh if you just want to use the free version. Of course, you can always buy some of your own if you want to create a lot more. Some things that could be better were sometimes it got stuck during the build, but it did retry and tell you what it was doing when it got stuck. Also, it didn't check if some of the links worked. So that kind of led to me having some unusable links that I needed to change later on. Always double check your site before publishing and learn from my mistakes. All in all, I really enjoyed playing with Same.new and learning how to make my own website in a really fast way. It was a great learning experience, and I love learning through play and making different iterations and seeing my ideas come to life. I hope you guys have a great time making your own websites with Same.new. Let me know how it goes. Don't forget to press like or subscribe if you want to see more AI news coming soon.